How do you do a maintenance clean on a shower or a bathtub? That is a great question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by Savvy Cleaner Training, and they have paid to put together this show as a blog, as a podcast, and also a YouTube series. So if you're listening to this podcast in your car and you're driving to and from your job, I strongly encourage you to check out this episode on our YouTube series, which is you just Google Ask a House Cleaner and it will pop up. The reason I'm going to do that is because today we're going to cover 3 showers, and I'm going to climb inside the showers and I'm going to show you how to clean the showers on a maintenance clean. The first one that we're going to do is a walk-in shower. You open the door and you walk in. The second one that I'm going to show you is a ginormous garden tub where you've got to climb up over the top of it and inside. Nobody likes to do it, but here's how to do it on a maintenance clean. Then the third one is a shower and tub combo where you pull back the shower curtain, you hop up over the edge of the tub, and then there's a bathtub, there's a fiberglass or acrylic wall, and then their shower is on one end that you can use either the shower or the tub. So it's a combo unit. There are a couple things that we're going to do at every one of these shower or tub stations. We're going to clean not only the shower and the tub, but we're going to clean the area around it. And that's the key when doing a maintenance clean. Now, this is not a heavy-duty clean, and the difference is on a heavy-duty clean, there's years of buildup. There's all kinds of mold and mildew and muckety-muck and junk and garbage and hair and stuff that has built up in the bathtub. So when you show up on a deep clean, you're going to need all kinds of heavy-duty chemicals, right? On a maintenance clean, all of that is already cleaned. So it would be easy to show up and just look at it and go, oh, it's already clean, I can skip this. Okay, here's the rule of house cleaning. It's a maintenance clean, meaning I am here to maintain, not here to skip. I'm here to maintain. This is really important for Airbnb, bed and breakfast, vacation rental owners. You don't get to skip this step, okay? As homeowners, please don't skip this step. And as professional house cleaners, you will get fired if you skip this step. So don't look at a shower and say it's clean and then skip it. Look at the shower and say, wow, it's not so bad, and then go ahead and maintain it. Okay, so here's the maintenance process. A couple things we're going to do before we begin. As we clean the area around it, we're going to move all the shampoos and the conditioners and lotions and razors and all the stuff that are in the showers, and we're going to scoop them in one little place. Then we're going to clean everything around it, then we're going to wipe the bottles down and put them back. That is part of the maintenance process. Now, on the great big tub, there's not a lot of shampoo and stuff like that because it rarely gets used. And I'll tell you a secret. In most homes that have these ginormous bathtubs, they don't get used very often. Most people are not willing to spend 55 gallons of water to fill up the bathtub so that it can stay warm for a few minutes. It gets cold after a few minutes, and then they got to pay the water bill, and it wastes a lot of water, and it's just not very friendly, and most people are more earth conscious than using those great big bathtubs. So for most of the time, they just collect the dust, okay? So it's going to be an easy clean. On the other shower, it is going to have some kind of a buildup in it because people take showers every day. And so there's going to be body lotions and body oils and sunscreen and stuff like that that has washed off during a shower. There's going to be soap and soap residue from shampoos and conditioners. And then there are also going to be maybe some little hairs and stuff from razors that people used in the showers. So there could be some gunk, but it's not going to be heavy-duty gunk that's going to require us to bring out the arsenal of heavy-duty chemicals, okay? So our work smart, not hard tools for today are these. I want to mention one more thing before we begin. At every station, we're going to remove all the stuff on the floor. So if it is a bath mat, we're going to remove that so we don't spill anything on it. If it is a weight scale, like somebody weighs themselves in the morning, we're going to remove that as well. We don't want to leave anything in the line of our cleaning. We're going to clean the entire area, wipe it down, and we're done. Okay, our work smart, not hard tools. Our first one is going to be a Swiffer duster. You can use any kind of duster you want, but we're going to dust down all the areas around the shower. So like in the great big one with the big tub, there's a big window behind that. And as there's a big window behind that, it has blinds on it. And then there's like this little area that has been tiled in and it looks fancy. We're going to dust all of that, which will eliminate the need for us scrubbing that if we were just to ignore it and let it build up. So we're just going to dust everything, wipe it down, and we're good. So don't forget your Swiffer duster. The next thing that we're going to use is a cup. Now, this is an Arby's cup, not sponsored. It just happens to be the one that I have. Any fast food restaurant, any gas station sells these cups. So just get yourself a big cup and carry it inside your cleaning caddy. If you get to a house that does not have a shower head on a hose, then you want to go ahead and use the cup, and I'll show you how to do that so you can wet the walls down and wash your cleansers away. All right, inside the cup, I have a non-scratch scrub sponge. Booyah, I love these. And we're going to use this to scrub the floors and the walls of the tubs and showers. All right, also what I have are my gloves. These are my nitrile gloves that I use on every job to protect my hands from the scrubbing and the stuff that I'm using. And then also in my cup, I have some cotton terry cloths. Now these I'm going to use as a final step to wipe down the beads of the water on the inside of the shower walls so it looks nice and shiny for the next person that takes the shower. Also, when I'm done, I'm going to lay one of these on the floor right outside the shower so that as I step outside the shower, because there will be water, that I'm not tracking any water across the customer's floors. I'm going to stand on these cotton terry cloths first. That's going to dry off the soles of my shoes. Then I'm going to put my shoe covers back on. And I don't recommend wearing shoe covers inside any of these showers because I need the rubber on the bottoms of my shoes to keep me from slipping. And so if I have something between me and the soles of my shoes, I could slip and fall. Also, they could get wet, and then when I get out of the shower, I track that across the customer's floors. We don't want that either. So no shoe covers in the showers. When we're done, we're going to step on our terry cloths, which are going to clean the bottoms of our shoes so we can put our shoe covers back on. All right, that's that. Then I have two other cleaning chemicals that we're going to use today. I have a heavy-duty cleaner, and I have a lesser all-purpose cleaner. These are just all-purpose cleaners. And depending on what you need is depending on what you use. Now, I haven't picked any particular brands here because your company will assign you a particular brand that is approved by your company, okay? So that's the answer for that. We're also going to use a powder cleanser. The powder cleanser that we happen to be using today is Comet. There are a variety of different powdered cleansers on the market. Any of them will work, but the one we're going to use today for this exercise is Comet. Okay, so those are our Work Smart, Not Hard tools for today. That is all we're going to use in order to clean these 3 showers. All right, first and foremost, we're going to do a walkthrough and make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary on this job. What we're looking for are hairs in the bathtub, maybe toenail clippings, and right there on the edge, we see some scuff marks that need to come off. Other than that, it looks like a pretty easy job, and we're moving on. We have our cleaning caddy right there between both the shower and the bathtub, so that will be easy to access from both of these jobs. Okay, the corners look pretty good. There's no mold. There's a little bit of stuff on the walls, but the grout looks pretty good. There's just a few things there that need to be moved out. And we do have a shower head on a hose. So that's going to be a pretty straightforward job. Let's move that floor mat. And we'll move that scale. And now we are ready to begin. To make it easy on ourselves, we're going to start on the left here, and we're going to begin with the shower. We're going to turn the shower head on a hose. We're going to wash the entire shower down. This is going to let us see if there's anything stuck on the walls. I've got my non-scratch scrub sponge I just put there on the floor, so I'm going to wet that down as well. Once all of the walls and the floor are wet, I'm going to grab my Comet cleanser and I'm going to shake that about on the floor, just putting a little bit on there. Now, it doesn't really matter where you begin in the shower, but I'm going to cover some of the main areas first with the Comet cleanser just to make it a little bit of a paste so that it can be resting there if there's a hard to get off area. Now, the area that I've started on here, instead of starting with the top and going down to the bottom, is because that's going to get the most use in a shower from daily use. All right, now I've gone back upwards and I'm getting the upper area, and then we'll come back down. We'll get the soap dish on the side, putting a little bit more on my non-scratch scrub sponge itself. And we're just going to work our way down and around the walls, hitting all those areas of grout. And we're going to cover the soap dish on the opposite side underneath that. And then just go up and down in a rhythmic pattern. Some areas of the shower are worse than others, and so we're going to spend more focus on those areas. On the areas that are not as bad, we're just going to go over it lightly, and then we'll hose everything down. Now, once we get to the shower glass walls, the shower glass was pretty clean. It's just the little rims around each of the corners. So we're going to go back around each of those rims with the opposite side of the scrub brush that I'm using right now. I'm using the scrubby side right now, And in just a minute, I'm going to flip it over and use the non-scratch scrub sponge side around the corner of the shower doors. And now we're going around the shower doors with the non-scratch scrub sponge. And you see that that's the non-scratch part, okay? And we're going to hose everything down that we just cleansered off. And you'll see how I'm not even getting wet in the process. I'm just moving around so that I can spray the floor. This is one of the reasons I love the shower head on a hose. It allows you to do so much without using that great big cup that we're going to use on the last shower. Now inside this shower, there's already a squeegee. So we're going to use the squeegee and we're going to focus on getting about 98% of the water drops. Then we're going to grab one of our terry cloths and we're going to go around each of the corners of the room. Oh, we grabbed our OXO cleaning brushes and we're going to grab those door rims because that is part of a maintenance clean. And now we're going to grab the terry cloth and we're going to go back around the rims and grab any droplets that we had. See how quick and easy this is? Within a matter of just a couple of minutes, you've got the entire shower done. And this is something you would do every other week or every week at a customer's house. All right, now before we're finished with this job, we're going to go ahead and wipe down all of the shampoos and the conditioners and any of the soaps and any of the other things that are in the corner of the shower so that we can go ahead and arrange those back for the customer so that there are nothing out of place and it looks nice and clean. And a quick review of our work says we did A-OK. Now moving on to the second bath. This is the one that we have to do all the dusting for. And we're going to start very quickly by grabbing our Swiffer duster and dusting all of those blinds because those will pick up a lot of dust. And if we don't dust them, no one will. So this is just part of the shower area. And because it's part of the master bath, we're just going to make sure that we do a real great job here, starting at the top, everything that we can reach within sight. We're going to dust off those plants. We're going to dust off the area around the big bathtub. We're going to work our way back around the tub and we're going to just dust off anything that's in the way or that's displayed around the edges of this tub. As we go around the edge of the tub, we're going to make sure we just get everything. We're going to dust under everything, put everything back. Dust around the corners of the pillars. And now we're going to grab our spray and our terry cloths. This is the same process as what we just did, only this time it's a wet wipe. The reason we're spending this much focus on this area around the bathtub is because this is in fact inside the master bath. And the master bath is where most couples will spend a good deal of their time every day, an hour to 2 hours a day, while they're getting ready for work or they're getting ready for bed or brushing their teeth or whatever. And this is front and center. This is a masterpiece right in the middle of the room. So we want to go to the extra caution of making sure that we don't leave any stones unturned. And by that I mean dust or scuff marks or hair or junk or whatever. So now that we've wiped everything out from around the edges, we're just going to lean over and wipe the bottom of it. And this was all spray. We didn't use any cleanser or anything here. Like I said, most of this was just dust. It looks pretty clean and now we will just inspect our work. So we're going to do a quick once over. We're going to make sure that everything looks spick and span. It's beautiful. We got those scuff marks off. That looks so nice. And I'm going to give this a thumbs up. So 3 cheers for the maintenance clean on the great big monster bathtub. Booyah! All right, in shower number 3, we're going to remove that floor mat. We're going to remove the toilet paper holder. There is a plunger inside the tub. We're going to take that out. We're going to remove all the shampoos and the soaps from the inside of the shower walls. And then we will be ready to clean. Now we're going to bring our cleaning caddy and set it right there where we can reach it. We're going to take out our non-scratch scrub sponge. We're going to take out our cleanser. And we're going to take out that big cup. This one does have a shower head on a hose, but I wanted to show you how this works. This time we're just going to fill the big cup up. And then once we fill that up, we're going to smack it up against the wall. And we're just going to let it out a little bit so that water dribbles down the side all the way around the tub. And as it, gravity pulls it down towards the bottom, that's going to let the cleanser stick once we start spreading this cleanser around. Now we're just going to shake a little bit of cleanser on the bottom. And like we did in the big shower, we're going to just scrub it around a little bit, creating a paste. And I'm going to put that cleanser back inside the cleaning caddy so that I don't kick it over and I don't mess with it or spill it. All right, so we're just going to brush this around a little bit, creating some kind of a paste. And we'll start with the bottom and the floor part. Then we'll go back to the top and we'll do the whole top from top to bottom. And then we'll rinse it out and we'll be done. So this is just a quick maintenance clean, but we're going to get any of the corners or the areas where there could have been ickety-splickety on the bottom of the shower. All right, now we've started at the top and we're going to work our way back down through the shower, cleaning out everything as we go with the non-scratch scrub sponge and the cleanser. One of the things that's important to remember about cleaning a shower is that because there are body oils and lotions and sunscreen that people wash off in the shower, it's really important that we get all the different areas of the shower so that it's nice and clean and mold and mildew doesn't build up. So once we've cleaned the bottom of this, it's going to be super easy to maintain. One of the things that's important to remember as you're cleaning a shower, even on a maintenance clean, is use your OXO brushes if you need to clean the hardware around the drain and the spout where any kind of buildup could get either from your hands or from soap or just the nooks and crannies or crevices. That's super important. Then once we turn the water on, we're going to rinse out our sponge and our OXO cleaning brushes so they're ready to go for next time. Now we're going to grab our cup of water since the water's running, and we're going to go ahead and just pour the water like we did before to wash all of the cleanser off and run that down the drain. All right, now that the shower is clean, we're going to grab a terry cloth and we're going to wipe down this acrylic shower. Now we did not wipe down the ceramic tile in the big shower because it will dry on its own and it will not leave spots. But this will leave spots. We just want to make sure that it's polished and it looks nice and that all the hardware is clean and polished and dry. All right, so now that this acrylic tub / shower is nice and clean, we're ready to go. And we're just going to dry all of the shampoos and the conditioners and things off, put the soap back, and then we're going to be done with this shower tub. See, that wasn't very hard at all, was it? All right, now, once everything is all put back, we're going to do a quick once-over. Looks pretty good to me. And so that, my friends, is how you do a maintenance clean. Put everything back exactly how you found it, return the floor mats where you got those from, make sure that the bathroom looks guest ready. All right, and that, my friends, is how you clean a maintenance clean on a shower and a bathtub. I hope this helps you a little bit. If it does, please pass it along. In fact, you might know somebody in the Airbnb industry you could pass this along to. You might pass it on to your kid who actually cleans their own bathroom. Or maybe, who knows, maybe you pass it on to another house cleaning friend. Until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.